Alright, hello everyone, this is a Stallion, and this video is dedicated to You're Too Blind to See. He's got a huge long email that he's given to me, and he would ask me to check out this guy by the name of Npage85, which I did. I checked the guy out. He's some little scrawny fellow with glasses, and basically is trying to prove from logical deduction that God is real, and of course he believes that his particular brand of God is the true one, which would be the Christian God. And he's got several different arguments. Mr. You're Too Blind to See put off a bunch of different concepts that he feels were said in the guy's video that he would like me to talk about. Now, I watched the guy's videos. I watched a few of them. They all seem to be the same repeated stuff where he's trying to explain how the mind and the brain are not connected and all this kind of stuff, which I don't understand. Anybody with common sense, any damn redneck from Arkansas or Texas could sit there and tell you that mentally and physically we develop over the years. Our experiences, our understanding, the more developed we get physically, and the more experiences we have and we record in our brains and everything, this is clearly something that is obvious for anybody out there. So I don't know really where he's trying to go with this. I mean, it's just common sense. I don't know, does he believe that our mind is somehow out in fucking space and shit, and our mind is just not telling us that we live in another dimension? Because it seems like it's pretty damn cut and dry. I don't know exactly what the guy's point of this is. Unless he's trying to state, I've heard some Christians actually claim that our mind and our consciousness is actually the voice of God talking to us and all that. Well, that's odd, because a lot of serial killers and murderers and all that will indicate that it is their mind and a voice inside their head that speaks in stereo to go out and do some of the horrid things that they do. So, I mean, if that's true, that the mind and our thoughts and stuff are based upon what God puts in us, then we would have to say that the negative things that have happened because of our mind and our way of thinking would also be God's fault too, which then would destroy one of the last arguments that you put forth, which is that the God of the Christian Bible is perfect. Perfection, I think that this fella who I watched his videos ought to take a look at the definition of perfect and what it means: without corruption, without blemishes, without issue, and such. The God of the Bible is filled with blemishes, filled with paradoxes, filled with dichotomies. If you were to look at the definition of evil in the dictionary, I'm surprised they don't have a picture of Yahweh sitting right there. There is no deity or any God that I've ever read about in mythology or in any of these holy texts that are popular nowadays that shows any kind of resemblance to the definition of perfection. The brain does not create the mind. Well, it's interesting that he says that. I believe it was Samuel Clemens that said a long time ago. He said, someone asked him, how do you feel about the fact that one day you're going to die and that you're not going to exist anymore? And he says, I was dead for billions of years, and it didn't seem to harm me none then. So, if this guy really believes that somehow there is another place, this is the same question I'd ask any Christian. If there's a better place out there and there's a location out in the space-time continuum or wherever the fuck you think God lives, whether it's planet Kolob, then why have you not committed suicide? This is something I've been asking and stuff for a long time, and also I noticed quite happily that Mr. Bill Maher said the same thing in his religiosity video, his movie. So, I don't understand where the guy's going with it, and of course he doesn't have any real information or substance to his argument. He's trying to explain or describe the properties of God, and he says that you can know that a God exists. You can know, and you can, there's ways to be able to prove it and all this. Someone needs to go knock on this poor bastard's door and let him know that Christianity, as well as Islam, as well as all these different religions out there, and the pagans included, will tell you that their religion is based upon faith. Their belief system is based on faith. Whether a Christian or Muslim likes the word religion or not is beside the fucking point. As long as you have faith in this, and you claim that it is faith-based, and it is a personal thing between you all, then basically you have taken out the evidence part. You have taken out any explanations. You've taken out anything. And when Christians and Muslims try to describe the miracles in their stories and their books, they take out all the logic and they take out all the natural. The stories go beyond the rules of the universe, beyond natural laws, into the goddamn Twilight Zone. They take you into a place where magic is used. Well, how did God fill up the entire world? How did God do this? How did God do that? Well, God's all-powerful. He can do anything he wants. Well, if he can break the laws and shit of the universe and stuff, then why should there be laws anyway? It doesn't make any sense and stuff. Let's see what else we got. Proof that God exists from logical deduction. If you deduct shit, then you prove that God exists. Alright. Alright. This is the same argument every other religious person has tried to use. The only difference between this guy and other religious people is that he's got some fancier words that he probably learned on Wikipedia. There's nothing new, there's nothing different, there's nothing unique that he's bringing to the table. So there's not really much to work with here. You, mister, you're too blind to see. You're kind of aggravated with him from what I'm reading, that the guy's arrogant and he doesn't allow comments and all that kind of stuff too. I'm sorry to hear about that. But I have to be honest with you, if the guy's not going to allow comments and he's not going to allow things to be said, then the video has to be directed at you about how I feel about what I've seen and heard. To try to post a video to a guy who won't approve my material or my comments, there cannot be a discussion or an argument because he has chosen for that to be. Which also proves without a doubt to me that he has no substance to his arguments, that it proves that he does not have the courage to debate with intellectuals and such. And I'm not saying that I'm the superior guy to deal with him. There's plenty of other atheists out there that I think have probably already, since I've been gone, probably wiped the fucking floor with this feller. There's not much there to work with. So, like I said, unless he opens the door for me, I'm not coming in to deal with him and stuff. I would love to. I'd love to talk to anybody on there. For a long time, I used to enjoy talking with Venom Fang and debating him. And I'm happy to hear that he has opened up more in his comments board as well as video responses. So that's all, folks. You've been listening to The Stallion. I hope that the video was refreshing or inspirational. Probably not, because there wasn't much to work with there. Alright, see you later.